The 4 hidden keys that finally reveal your soul's true purpose. Stop everything you are doing right now, because what I am about to reveal is not another self-help message. These are the 4 hidden keys that unlock the deepest mystery of your existence and finally answer the question that has been haunting your soul since the day you were born. I know exactly what you have been feeling. That gnawing emptiness that no achievement can fill. That restless searching that no relationship can satisfy. That deep knowing that you were meant for something greater, but you cannot figure out what it is. Those moments when you stare at the mirror and wonder if this is all there is to life. Those sleepless nights when you question whether your existence has any real meaning. I see every moment of confusion you have experienced. I understand every prayer you have whispered asking for direction. I know the frustration that eats at your heart when you see others who seem to have found their calling while you feel completely lost. But today, everything changes. That restlessness in your spirit is not a curse. It is the most powerful gift you have ever been given. Every moment of dissatisfaction you have felt was preparation for this revelation that will transform your understanding of why you are here. The 4 hidden keys that finally reveal your soul's true purpose are not philosophical concepts. They are practical realities that will revolutionize how you see yourself, your circumstances, and your destiny. These keys have been hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone with eyes to see and ears to hear. But first, let me ask you a question that will shake the foundation of everything you think you know about purpose. What if I told you that the very thing you have been running from is actually the doorway to your greatest calling? What if the pain you have been trying to heal is the exact wound that qualifies you to heal others? What if the struggle you have been ashamed of is the story that will inspire millions? What if your greatest weakness is the platform for your most extraordinary strength? The first hidden key is this. Your soul's true purpose is always connected to your deepest pain. This is not some cruel cosmic joke. This is divine strategy at its most brilliant. Think about it like this. If you want to dig a well, you do not start on solid rock. You look for the place where the ground has already been broken, where the earth is soft, where water is most likely to spring forth. Your pain has broken the hard ground of your heart. Your struggles have created the exact conditions where the living water of purpose can spring forth most powerfully. The areas where you have suffered the most are not accidents. They are assignments. The experiences that nearly destroyed you are not random tragedies. They are strategic preparations for the work only you can do. Because who can better help the broken than someone who has been shattered and put back together? Who can more effectively guide the lost than someone who has wandered in the wilderness and found their way home? Who can more powerfully encourage the hopeless than someone who has stared into the abyss and chosen to live? Your pain is not your punishment. It is your preparation. Your struggle is not your shame. It is your qualification. Your wound is not your weakness. It is your weapon against the darkness that threatens to consume others who are walking the same path you once walked. The second hidden key will challenge everything you have been taught about success and fulfillment. Your soul's true purpose is never about what you can get from the world. It is always about what you can give to the world. This is why every attempt to find purpose through accumulation leaves you empty. More money does not bring more meaning. More recognition does not create more satisfaction. More possessions do not produce more peace. Because your soul was not designed to be a container that receives. Your soul was designed to be a conduit that gives. Like a river that finds its power not in holding water but in flowing water. Like a candle that discovers its beauty not in preserving its wax, but in surrendering its substance to create light. Like a seed that realizes its potential not by remaining intact, but by breaking open to birth new life. Your soul comes alive when it moves from the question, "What can I gain?" to the question, "What can I contribute?" From "How can I be served?" to "How can I serve?" From "What is in it for me?" to "What can I give?" This shift is not just philosophical. It is neurological, emotional, and spiritual. When you align with your giving nature, your brain releases chemicals that create deep satisfaction. When you focus on contribution, your emotions stabilize in ways that self-focus never achieves. When you surrender to service, Your spirit connects with the infinite source of all purpose and meaning. But here is where most people get confused. They think service means diminishing themselves. They believe contribution requires self-sacrifice that leads to emptiness. Nothing could be further from the truth. The third hidden key reveals the paradox that transforms everything. Your soul's true purpose becomes more powerful the more authentically you express who you really are. You do not serve by becoming less yourself. You serve by becoming more yourself than you have ever been before. Your authentic self is not your ego-driven desires or your culturally conditioned preferences. Your authentic self is the unique combination of gifts, experiences, perspectives, and passions that only you possess. It is the distinctive way you see the world that no one else can replicate. It is the particular flavor of love you bring that cannot be duplicated. It is the specific solution you carry for problems that are waiting for your unique approach. When you try to serve by copying someone else's path, you rob the world of the irreplaceable gift that is you. When you attempt to help by becoming who you think you should be, you deny the world access to who you actually are. And who you actually are is exactly what the world needs. Not a perfect version of yourself. Not an improved version of yourself. Not a more acceptable version of yourself. The real, authentic, unfiltered you is the masterpiece that creation has been waiting to unveil. Your quirks are not flaws to be hidden. They are features to be celebrated. Your unique perspective is not a limitation to be overcome. It is a gift to be shared. Your unusual combination of interests is not scattered confusion. It is divine design preparing you for a purpose that requires exactly your blend of capabilities. Think about the greatest servants of humanity throughout history. None of them succeeded by trying to be like someone else. They succeeded by being more fully themselves than anyone thought possible. Gandhi did not become a great leader by copying other activists. He became great by expressing his unique combination of spiritual devotion, legal training, and nonviolent philosophy. Mother Teresa did not transform lives by following someone else's template. She transformed lives by expressing her distinctive blend of fierce love and practical service. Einstein did not revolutionize science by mimicking other physicists. He revolutionized science by trusting his unique way of seeing reality that others considered bizarre. Your authentic self is not self-indulgence. Your authentic self is your greatest gift to humanity. The fourth hidden key is the one that brings everything together and activates your purpose in the present moment. Your soul's true purpose is not a destination you will reach someday. It is a way of being you can embody right now. This is the key that liberates you from the torture of endless searching. You do not need to find your purpose. You need to choose your purpose. You do not need to discover your calling. You need to declare your calling. You do not need to wait for permission from the universe. You need to give yourself permission to begin, right now in this moment. With whatever resources you have wherever you are, you can begin living your soul's true purpose. Because purpose is not about having the perfect circumstances. Purpose is about bringing your gifts to whatever circumstances you find yourself in. It is not about waiting for the ideal opportunity. It is about creating opportunity wherever you are. It is not about having all the answers. It is about starting with the questions that matter most to you. Let me paint a picture that will change how you see your current situation. Imagine a seed buried in what appears to be lifeless dirt. From the seed's perspective, it might seem like it is trapped, forgotten, abandoned. But the dirt is not the seed's prison. The dirt is the seed's classroom. Every nutrient the seed needs is hidden in what looks like obstacles. Every resource required for growth is disguised as resistance. The pressure that feels crushing is actually the exact force needed to crack open the shell and release the life within. Your current circumstances, no matter how challenging or ordinary they may seem, contain everything you need to begin expressing your soul's true purpose. That job you think is beneath you is the training ground for leadership skills you will need later. That relationship that challenges you is developing the emotional intelligence required for your future impact. That financial pressure you are facing is teaching you resourcefulness that will serve you when you are managing larger responsibilities. That health struggle you are navigating is building compassion that will make you an effective healer for others. Nothing in your life is wasted when you understand that every experience is preparation for purpose. But here is what most people miss. They wait for the preparation to end before they begin the purpose. They think there is a graduation day when they will finally be ready to start their real work. The truth is exactly the opposite. Your preparation and your purpose happen simultaneously. You learn by doing, not by waiting. You grow by serving, not by preparing to serve someday. You discover your gifts by using them, not by analyzing them. This very moment is not preparation for your life. This very moment is your life. And your life is your purpose in action. Every conversation you have is an opportunity to encourage, inspire, or enlighten. Every challenge you face is a chance to model resilience, faith, or creativity. Every decision you make is a demonstration of your values and priorities. You are not waiting to begin living your purpose. You are living your purpose right now by how you choose to show up in this moment. The 4 hidden keys work together like a combination lock that opens the door to a life of meaning that surpasses anything you have imagined. Your pain becomes your platform. Your authentic self becomes your instrument. Your focus shifts from getting to giving. Your purpose activates in this present moment. But let me warn you about something that will try to sabotage everything I have just revealed. Your mind will immediately start generating excuses about why these keys cannot work for you. You will think you are too old, too young, too damaged, too ordinary, too whatever. You will convince yourself that these principles work for other people, but your situation is different. You will postpone taking action until you feel more ready, more qualified, more prepared. This is not wisdom. This is fear disguised as prudence. The same power that created galaxies and orchestrates the seasons is the power that designed you and placed you in this exact moment, with these exact circumstances, for purposes that extend far beyond your current understanding. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not too late. You are not too early. You are right on time for the assignment that has your name on it. Like this message, if something in your soul has awakened to the truth of who you really are. Comment, purpose. If you are ready to stop searching and start living your calling, share this message with your friends and family because they need to discover their soul's true purpose as well. Send it to your group chats because these keys can transform entire communities when people understand their real value. Follow this channel because you need to keep receiving truths that will activate the dormant greatness within you. Now go and live like the purposeful being you were created to be. Your soul knows exactly why you are here. It is time to trust what you know and act on what you have been given. The world is waiting for what only you can bring. The historical and psychological foundations of purpose discovery reveal truths that most people never encounter in their lifetime of searching. For thousands of years, human beings have grappled with the fundamental question of why they exist. Ancient philosophers dedicated entire lifetimes to understanding the relationship between individual purpose and cosmic order. The Greeks had a word, eudaimonia, which is often translated as happiness, but means something far deeper. It refers to the flourishing that comes from living in alignment with your highest potential. Aristotle taught that eudaimonia is not an emotion or temporary state. It is the natural result of consistently acting according to your true nature and highest capabilities. This concept revolutionizes how we understand the 4 hidden keys I have revealed. Your pain connection to purpose is not modern psychology. It is ancient wisdom that recognizes how suffering shapes souls for service. The Greeks understood that their greatest heroes were not those who avoided hardship. Their greatest heroes were those who transformed their wounds into wisdom that benefited entire civilizations. Chiron, the wounded healer of mythology, represents the archetypal truth that those who have been broken and restored become the most effective healers of others. This pattern appears across every culture and era because it reflects a fundamental law of human development. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, spent his life studying what he called logotherapy, healing through meaning. His research in the concentration camps revealed that survival was not determined by physical strength, intelligence, or resources. Survival was determined by having a sense of purpose that transcended immediate circumstances. Those who had a reason to live found ways to endure unimaginable suffering. Those who lost their sense of meaning often gave up, even when their physical circumstances were not the worst. Frankl discovered that human beings can endure almost any suffering if they understand why they are suffering, but they will be crushed by even minor difficulties if they cannot find meaning in their experience. This validates the first hidden key at the deepest psychological level. Your pain is not meaningless. Your struggles are not random. They are the exact curriculum your soul needs to develop the strength and wisdom required for your unique contribution to the world. Modern neuroscience has confirmed what ancient wisdom always knew about the second hidden key. The human brain is literally wired for contribution, not accumulation. When people engage in activities focused on helping others, their brains release a cocktail of chemicals that create what researchers call helper's high. Dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin flood the system, creating feelings of satisfaction that cannot be replicated through self-focused activities. Studies of lottery winners and people who experience sudden wealth consistently show that after an initial spike, their happiness levels return to baseline or even drop below their pre-wealth levels. But studies of people who dedicate their lives to serving causes larger than themselves show sustained increases in life satisfaction that continue to grow over time. Your brain rewards giving more than getting, because you were designed to be a conduit of blessing, not a container of blessing. The UCLA neuroscientist Dr. Matthew Lieberman has shown that the human brain's default mode network, the neural activity that occurs when we are not focused on specific tasks, is primarily concerned with understanding our relationships and our place in social groups. Even when we are not consciously thinking about it, our brains are constantly processing questions about how we fit in, how we can contribute, and how our actions affect others. This neural architecture supports the truth that purpose is fundamentally social, not individual. You cannot find lasting fulfillment in isolated achievement because your brain is wired for connected contribution. The research on authenticity reveals fascinating insights about the third hidden key. Dr. Brené Brown's groundbreaking studies on vulnerability and shame have demonstrated that people who live most authentically are not those who have eliminated their flaws or overcome their struggles. They are people who have learned to embrace their imperfections as part of their unique gift to the world. Her research shows that the most compelling leaders, artists, teachers, and healers are those who have integrated their wounded places with their gifted places. They do not succeed despite their struggles. They succeed because of how their struggles have shaped their particular way of bringing value to others. The Japanese concept of wabi-sabi captures this beautifully. It is the aesthetic philosophy that finds beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. A cracked vase repaired with gold is more beautiful than a perfect vase because its brokenness and restoration tell a story of resilience. Your authentic self, including the parts you wish you could change, is more valuable than any perfected version you could imagine because your real story of struggle and growth is what others need to hear. Psychological studies of flow states reveal crucial insights about the fourth hidden key. Dr. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying the conditions that create optimal experience, moments when people feel fully engaged, energized, and alive. His research shows that flow occurs not when we are waiting for ideal circumstances, but when we bring focused attention and skill to whatever challenge is in front of us right now. People experience flow while washing dishes, having conversations, solving problems at work, or playing with children. The activity itself is not what creates the experience. The quality of attention and engagement we bring to the activity creates the experience. This proves that purpose is not dependent on finding the perfect role or opportunity. Purpose emerges when you bring purposeful attention to whatever role or opportunity you currently have. Historical analysis of people who made significant contributions to humanity reveals a surprising pattern. Most of them began expressing their purpose long before they found their famous calling. Martin Luther King Jr. was practicing the speaking and organizing skills that would later change the world while he was still a teenager in his father's church. Marie Curie was conducting scientific experiments in makeshift laboratories years before she had access to proper research facilities. Leonardo da Vinci was creating art and inventions in small workshops decades before he received royal commissions. They did not wait for permission, credentials, or perfect circumstances. They began using their gifts immediately, wherever they were, with whatever resources they had available. The anthropological evidence shows that human societies have always organized themselves around the principle of complementary gifts. No individual possesses all the capabilities needed for survival and flourishing. Each person develops specialized abilities that serve the whole community. The baker needs the farmer's grain, and the farmer needs the baker's skill. The storyteller needs the craftsman's tools, and the craftsman needs the storyteller's inspiration. The healer needs the teacher's wisdom, and the teacher needs the healer's compassion. This interdependence is not a flaw in human design. It is the mechanism that ensures everyone has a place, everyone has value, and everyone has purpose. Your unique combination of gifts, experiences, and perspectives is needed by others who do not have that combination. You are not competing with others for purpose. You are completing others through purpose. The theological foundations of purpose reveal the deepest layer of meaning. Across spiritual traditions, there is consistent teaching that each soul comes into existence with a specific mission that only it can fulfill. The Hebrew concept of tikkun olam means repairing the world. It teaches that each person has a piece of the cosmic puzzle that only they can contribute. The Hindu understanding of dharma refers to the righteous path that aligns individual action with cosmic order. The Christian doctrine of spiritual gifts explains that each believer receives supernatural abilities designed to serve the body of Christ and bless the world. The Islamic concept of khilafah describes humans as trustees of creation, each responsible for stewarding particular aspects of divine creation. These traditions agree that purpose is not something you create for yourself. Purpose is something you discover about yourself as part of a larger design that transcends individual understanding. You matter not because you decided to matter. You matter because you were designed to matter by an intelligence that sees the end from the beginning. The four hidden keys operate according to universal principles that transcend cultural, religious, and philosophical differences. Pain transformed into service appears in every tradition. Authentic expression as the pathway to impact is recognized across cultures. The shift from self-focus to other focus as the source of fulfillment is universally acknowledged. The availability of purpose in the present moment rather than only in future achievement is consistently taught by wisdom traditions worldwide. This universality is not coincidence. It is confirmation that these keys unlock something real about the structure of reality itself. You are not experimenting with unproven theories when you apply these principles. You are aligning with laws as reliable as gravity, as predictable as sunrise, as trustworthy as mathematics. The psychological research on meaning-making reveals that people who understand these four keys experience what researchers call post-traumatic growth. Instead of being diminished by their difficulties, they are enlarged by them. Instead of being defined by their pain, they are refined by their pain. Instead of being victims of their circumstances, they become victors through their circumstances. They do not just recover from trauma. They discover through trauma capabilities they never knew they possessed. They do not just survive crisis. They thrive because of how crisis awakened their dormant strength. This is not positive thinking or denial of real suffering. This is the natural result of understanding that suffering is not the opposite of purpose. Suffering, when processed correctly, is the birthplace of purpose. The historical examples of purpose activation in ordinary circumstances are countless. Rosa Parks was not a civil rights leader when she refused to give up her seat. She was a tired seamstress who decided to act according to her values in that moment. That single decision, made without knowing its historical significance, activated a purpose that changed the world. Mother Teresa was not planning to work with the dying when she first encountered poverty in Calcutta. She was a school teacher who simply responded to the need in front of her. That response, made without a grand strategy, became a life mission that touched millions. Gandhi was not intending to lead an independence movement when he first experienced racial discrimination in South Africa. He was a young lawyer who decided he would not accept injustice passively. That decision, made in response to immediate circumstances, developed into a philosophy that liberated nations. Your purpose does not require you to see the big picture. Your purpose requires you to take the next right step with the light you have right now. The accumulated effect of consistent right steps creates a path that leads to destinations you never could have planned. But you have to be willing to start walking before you can see where the path leads. The neurological research on habit formation shows that purpose becomes sustainable when it moves from conscious decision to automatic response. When you consistently choose to use your pain as fuel for helping others, it becomes your natural response to difficulty. When you regularly express your authentic self in service, it becomes effortless to be real and helpful simultaneously. When you habitually look for ways to give rather than get, your brain rewires itself to notice opportunities for contribution everywhere. When you repeatedly choose to act purposefully in present moments, living on purpose becomes your default mode of operation. Purpose is not a burden you must carry. Purpose is a groove you wear into your soul through repeated choices that align with your deepest values. Like this message, if these historical and psychological insights have deepened your understanding of why the 4 hidden keys are universally effective. Comment: Foundation. If you are beginning to see that your purpose is not an accident, but part of a larger design that includes you by necessity, not coincidence. Share this message with your friends and family because understanding the deeper foundations of purpose gives people confidence to act on what they discover about themselves. Send it to your group chats because communities are transformed when individuals understand that their personal purpose contributes to collective flourishing. Follow this channel because we will continue exploring the depths of wisdom that activate human potential in ways that benefit everyone. Now I will take you into the esoteric and mystical dimensions of purpose, where the deepest secrets have been hidden from casual seekers for millennia. The number 4, representing the 4 hidden keys, carries profound significance in the sacred geometry of existence that most people never comprehend. 4 is the number of completion in the material realm. 4 cardinal directions that orient all navigation. 4 seasons that govern all natural cycles. 4 elements that compose all physical matter. 4 chambers of the heart that sustain all life. When purpose is revealed through 4 keys, it signifies that you are receiving complete information for navigating your material existence in alignment with spiritual reality. These are not partial insights that leave you searching for missing pieces. These are the total coordinates you need to locate yourself accurately in the cosmic order. The first key, connecting pain to purpose, operates according to the ancient principle of solve et coagula, dissolve and coagulate. This alchemical formula describes how base metals are transformed into gold. First, the crude material must be dissolved, broken down to its essential components. Then, these purified elements are reassembled into something of far greater value. Your pain is the dissolution phase of your soul's alchemical transformation. Every trauma, every disappointment, every moment of despair is dissolving the false identities and superficial attachments that prevent you from accessing your true essence. What feels like destruction is actually purification. What seems like loss is actually refinement. What appears to be endings are actually beginnings of processes that will create something infinitely more valuable than what you lost. But dissolution alone does not create gold. The purified elements must be coagulated, reformed into new structures that express their higher potential. This is where your pain becomes your platform for service. The dissolved elements of your suffering are reformed into wisdom, compassion, strength, and understanding that become tools for helping others navigate similar dissolution processes. You become an alchemical master who can guide others through transformations you have already completed. The second key, shifting from getting to giving, reflects the Hermetic principle of as above, so below. In the spiritual realm, abundance flows constantly from source to creation without depletion. The sun gives light without losing light. The earth gives life without diminishing life. The ocean gives rain without reducing its capacity to give more rain. When you align with the giving principle, you connect with this infinite flow of abundance. You stop trying to capture and contain blessing, and you become a conduit through which blessing flows to others. This is not sacrifice that impoverishes you. This is alignment that connects you to inexhaustible supply. The mystical traditions teach that the universe operates on the principle of circulation. What is hoarded stagnates and corrupts. What is circulated multiplies and purifies. When you give your gifts freely, you create space for new gifts to flow into your life. When you serve others generously, you position yourself to receive service from unexpected sources. When you contribute without attachment to return, you tap into the cosmic law that ensures return in forms you could never anticipate or orchestrate. But this principle only works when your giving comes from abundance consciousness, not poverty consciousness. If you give because you think you should, you create resistance in the energy flow. If you give because you feel guilty about having, you contaminate the gift with negative energy. If you give to manipulate outcomes or create obligations, you corrupt the purity that makes the principle effective. True giving comes from understanding that you are a temporary steward of gifts that belong to the infinite source. You give not because you own something to give away. You give because you recognize that everything flows through you from a source that never runs dry. The third key, authentic expression, involves what the Kabbalists called tikkun, the repair of the cosmic vessels that were shattered during creation. According to this mystical teaching, when the infinite light of creation entered the finite vessels of the material world, some vessels could not contain the intensity and shattered. Sparks of divine light became scattered throughout creation, hidden within ordinary experiences and apparently broken people. Your authentic self is one of these scattered sparks of divine light. Your unique combination of gifts, perspectives, and experiences contains a fragment of cosmic illumination that exists nowhere else in creation. When you express your authentic self, you are literally gathering and revealing hidden sparks of divine light. When you try to be someone else, you leave your spark hidden and the cosmic repair remains incomplete. The world needs your particular spark, not because it makes you special in an ego sense. The world needs your particular spark, because the cosmic puzzle cannot be completed without the piece that only you carry. This is why authentic expression feels so powerful and why conformity feels so draining. Conformity scatters your energy by forcing you to maintain false personas. Authenticity focuses your energy by allowing all your resources to flow in alignment with your true nature. But authentic expression in the mystical sense goes beyond personality preferences or individual tastes. True authenticity means expressing the divine nature through the unique vehicle of your individual characteristics. It means allowing the infinite to express itself through your finite form in ways that reveal new possibilities for how divinity can manifest in the world. The fourth key, present moment activation, connects with the esoteric understanding of time as an illusion that imprisons most people in cycles of limitation. Linear time is a construct that keeps you believing purpose is always somewhere else. In the past you need to resolve, or in the future you need to reach. But mystics throughout history have taught that the present moment is the only place where infinite possibility exists. Past and future are mental constructs with no real substance. Only now is real, and now contains all the power you will ever need to fulfill any purpose. When you fully inhabit the present moment, you access what the mystics call eternal now, a dimension of consciousness where time is not a limitation, but a tool for expressing timeless truth. In eternal now, you are not bound by the story of who you have been or the fear of who you might become. In eternal now, you have direct access to the infinite intelligence that knows exactly what needs to happen next. In eternal now, you become a transparent vessel through which cosmic purpose can express itself without the interference of ego-driven agendas. This is why purpose feels effortless when you find it and forced when you try to manufacture it. True purpose flows naturally from the eternal now, because it is not your personal achievement. True purpose is cosmic intelligence expressing itself through your willing participation in the present moment. The four keys together form what sacred geometry calls a sacred quaternary, a four-sided structure that creates a stable foundation for higher dimensional activity. Ancient temples were built as squares to create sacred space where earthly and heavenly energies could meet. The four keys create a sacred space within your consciousness, where your human experience and your divine purpose can merge. Your pain becomes sacred when it transforms into service. Your giving becomes sacred when it connects you to infinite supply. Your authenticity becomes sacred when it reveals divine sparks. Your present moment becomes sacred when it opens to eternal possibility. Within this sacred space, you do not have to figure out your purpose through mental effort. your purpose reveals itself naturally as you maintain the proper inner environment for divine guidance to operate. The Hermetic tradition teaches 7 universal principles that govern all manifestation. The 4 keys align perfectly with the most essential of these principles. The principle of correspondence connects your inner pain transformation with your outer purpose manifestation. As you heal within, you become able to facilitate healing without. The principle of vibration explains why giving raises your energetic frequency and attracts higher quality experiences. Generosity vibrates at the frequency of abundance, and like attracts like. The principle of polarity shows how authentic expression balances the masculine energy of action with the feminine energy of receptivity. You act authentically while remaining receptive to how the universe wants to use your authentic expression. The principle of rhythm reveals why purpose must be activated in present moments, rather than pursued as future achievement. Everything in the universe moves in cycles, and purpose manifests through riding the rhythm of cosmic cycles as they flow through the eternal now. The ancient mystery schools taught that most people live their entire lives without discovering their true purpose because they seek it in the wrong dimensions. They look for purpose in external achievements when purpose exists in internal alignment. They seek purpose through mental analysis when purpose is revealed through spiritual intuition. They pursue purpose as personal fulfillment when purpose is discovered through selfless service. The mystery school initiates learned to access purpose through what was called the dark night of the soul, a period of intense spiritual dissolution that eliminated false identities and revealed authentic essence. Your pain is your personal mystery school initiation. Your struggles are dissolving everything that is not truly you, so that what is truly you can emerge with clarity and power. Instead of trying to avoid or minimize your difficulties, you can embrace them as the curriculum designed specifically for your soul's education. The Sufi tradition speaks of the perfect human, who has integrated all aspects of their being in service to the divine purpose. This is not moral perfection or behavioral flawlessness. This is the perfect alignment of all your human capacities with your spiritual mission. Your intellect serves your purpose instead of competing with it. Your emotions fuel your purpose instead of sabotaging it. Your physical energy expresses your purpose instead of depleting it. Your relationships support your purpose instead of distracting from it. When you achieve this integration, you become what the tradition calls a polished mirror that reflects divine qualities into the world without distortion. People see truth, beauty, goodness, and power when they encounter you, not because you are trying to impress them, but because you have become transparent to the divine qualities that naturally express through clear vessels. The Kabbalistic tree of life provides a map for understanding how the 4 keys activate different dimensions of your consciousness simultaneously. The first key connects you to Binah, the divine understanding that transforms all experience into wisdom. Your pain becomes purposeful when it is processed through divine understanding rather than human reasoning. The second key connects you to Chesed, the divine loving kindness that flows infinitely without depletion. Your giving becomes sustainable when it flows from divine love rather than human obligation. The third key connects you to Tiferet, the divine beauty that harmonizes all apparent opposites into perfect expression. Your authenticity becomes beautiful when it integrates your human flaws with your divine essence. The fourth key connects you to Malkut, the divine kingdom where spiritual reality manifests in physical form. Your present moment becomes sacred when it becomes the place where heaven touches earth through your conscious participation. These are not just philosophical concepts. These are operational principles that create measurable changes in your capacity to fulfill your soul's purpose. The numerological significance of your birth date contains additional keys for understanding your specific purpose within the larger cosmic design. But these universal 4 keys work regardless of your personal numerological profile, because they align you with principles that govern all souls. The ancient Egyptian mystery schools taught that the human soul has 4 bodies that must be aligned for purpose to manifest fully. The physical body that acts in the material world, the emotional body that provides energy and motivation, the mental body that creates strategies and solutions, the spiritual body that receives guidance and inspiration. When these 4 bodies are aligned through the 4 keys, you become what the Egyptians called a god walking on earth. a human being who expresses divine purpose through integrated consciousness. Your pain aligns your emotional body with divine compassion. Your giving aligns your physical body with divine action. Your authenticity aligns your mental body with divine truth. Your present moment awareness aligns your spiritual body with divine presence. The Celtic tradition speaks of the thin places, where the veil between worlds becomes permeable, and divine purpose can flow through more easily. When you embody the 4 keys, you become a thin place. Everywhere you go becomes a location where heaven can touch earth through your presence. Every conversation becomes an opportunity for divine love to express itself through your words. Every action becomes a channel for divine will to manifest through your choices. Every moment becomes sacred space where miracles become natural occurrences. The shamanic traditions teach that every soul chooses its life circumstances before incarnation, including the specific challenges that will activate its gifts. Your pain is not punishment for past mistakes. Your pain is the curriculum you chose to ensure you would develop the exact capabilities needed for your mission. The obstacles you face are not evidence that you are off track. The obstacles you face are the training equipment that builds the spiritual muscles you will need to accomplish what you came here to do. When you understand this, every difficulty transforms from a problem to be solved into a gift, to be unwrapped. Every setback becomes a setup for a comeback that will benefit countless others. Every moment of despair becomes a doorway to discovering strength you never knew you possessed. The Gnostic Gospels, hidden for centuries, reveal that Jesus taught his inner circle about the 4 keys using parables that most people interpreted only literally. The parable of the seed that must die to produce fruit describes the first key, how pain becomes the soil where purpose grows. The parable of the talents that multiply when used describes the second key, how giving increases rather than depletes your resources. The parable of the pearl of great price describes the third key, how your authentic self is the treasure hidden within your ordinary existence. The parable of the kingdom of heaven being at hand describes the fourth key, how purpose is available in this present moment rather than only in some distant future. These teachings were considered too dangerous for general distribution because they give individuals direct access to the divine power that transforms lives and circumstances. But the time of secrecy is ending. These mysteries are being revealed to anyone who has eyes to see and ears to hear, because humanity is ready for a global awakening to individual purpose that serves collective transformation. The Vedantic tradition describes 4 paths of yoga that correspond perfectly with the 4 keys. Karma yoga, the path of selfless action, transforms your pain into service that benefits others. Bhakti yoga, the path of devotion, opens your heart to giving love without attachment to receiving love in return. Raja yoga, the path of meditation, reveals your authentic self beneath the layers of conditioning and social programming. Jnana yoga, the path of knowledge, awakens you to the truth that purpose exists eternally in the present moment of pure awareness. When you practice all 4 paths simultaneously through applying the 4 keys, you achieve what the tradition calls Sahaja Samadhi, the natural state of enlightenment that functions in ordinary daily activities. You do not need to retreat from the world to live your purpose. You transform the world by living your purpose within whatever circumstances you find yourself. The Taoist concept of Wu Wei, effortless action, describes what happens when the 4 keys become integrated into your natural way of being. You no longer struggle to find your purpose because you embody your purpose. You no longer force opportunities because you recognize opportunities everywhere. You no longer try to become something you are not because you accept and express what you authentically are. You no longer postpone living because you realize that every moment is the perfect time to be who you were created to be. The mystical dimension of the 4 keys operates through what the esoteric traditions call the Law of 7. Every complete cycle of transformation involves 7 stages, but the 4 keys represent the essential activations that determine whether the cycle leads to higher consciousness or remains trapped in repetitive patterns. Without the first key, pain remains suffering instead of becoming wisdom. Without the second key, life remains self-focused instead of becoming service. Without the third key, expression remains performance instead of becoming authenticity. Without the fourth key, Existence remains postponement instead of becoming presence. The secret teachings of all traditions converge on this truth. You are not a human being seeking a spiritual purpose. You are a spiritual being expressing purpose through human experience. The search ends when you realize that what you have been seeking has been seeking you. Your purpose is not hiding from you. Your purpose is calling to you through every experience, every encounter, every challenge, every opportunity that appears in your life. The 4 keys do not help you find purpose. The 4 keys help you recognize the purpose that has been expressing itself through your life all along. Every moment of pain was purpose preparing you for service. Every impulse to give was purpose calling you to alignment. Every yearning for authenticity was purpose demanding expression. Every sense that there must be more was purpose insisting on activation. You have never been without purpose. You have only been unconscious of the purpose that has been weaving itself through your experience since the moment you drew your first breath. The awakening is not about becoming something new. The awakening is about recognizing what has always been true. You are purpose incarnate, walking in human form, learning to express the infinite through the finite, the eternal through the temporal, the divine through the ordinary. This is the ultimate secret that the 4 keys unlock. You do not have a purpose, you are purpose. You do not need to find your calling. You need to answer the call that has been echoing in your soul since before time began. The call to be fully who you are, to give fully what you have been given, to serve fully those who need what only you can provide, to live fully in this moment where all possibility exists. Like this message, if your soul recognizes the truth that transcends all seeking and questioning. Comment awakened if you are ready to stop looking for purpose and start being purpose. Share this message because there are others who need to remember who they really are and why they are here. Send it to your group chats because when individuals awaken to their true purpose, entire communities are transformed. Follow this channel because we will continue unveiling the mysteries that activate human potential in service to the divine plan that includes everyone. Now go and be who you came here to be. Not because you figured it out, because you remembered what you have always known. You are here on purpose, for a purpose, as purpose itself expressing through the magnificent vehicle of your unique human experience. The universe is waiting for you to say yes to what you have always been. The time is now. The place is here. The person is you. Purpose activated.